let me show you real quick how to make tea, by the way, because we're going to need to know how to make tea to be able to know how to make tea cocktails. Couldn't be any easier. Everyone sees this and they get really scared because there's no bag, and there's, and it just looks like, what, I'm going to drink the leaves? All you need is something that's going to strain the leaves. Something that's going to keep your mouth from the tea leaves. And we're going to explain how to do that in a second. The reason why we want, instead of using a tea bag, the more room tea has to expand, the better the flavor is going to be. And when you have a device like this, where the tea has as much room as there is water, then you're going to have the best infusion possible. This device is really cool. We actually, this is one of our best-selling items. It's called a gravity teapot. I don't know, can you guys see up there? It does actually, wow, that's really cool. So what you do with this, I'm going to be using this again for a later example. This is my favorite tea. This is actually the mix that we use for the motijo. And it's green tea, lemongrass, and a little bit of mint. So you put 1 teaspoon of tea in water. And now here's the general rule of thumb. For every teaspoon of tea makes 1 cup of water, which is why they call it a teaspoon. Yeah. So 1 teaspoon of tea for every cup of water. Now all you have to do, tea needs to steep. That means that it needs to mingle around with the water. And after about 3 minutes for green tea, 5 minutes for black tea, all of those delicious and healthy oils are going to infuse itself in. You don't want to let it go too long, because then some of the bad stuff, some of the tannic acid, the bitter stuff that makes that cup of tea that most people are used to, most people think that tea should taste bitter, it should not. Most of that stuff is going to get out. So make sure, for most green teas, white teas, 3 minutes. For black teas, herbal teas, 5 minutes. As long as you know that, you can make a good cup of tea. With this teapot, all you have to do after that is put it right on top of the cup, and it strains right down into the cup. Couldn't get any easier than that. Now, that should alleviate all your fears about not seeing a bag here, because this is so easy to use.